You know, sometimes I read articles, they have titles that make me think we are living in alternate realities. HSBC has now launched their own gold token. And they're saying, wow, this is amazing. It cuts costs and it's so much more effective for transfers. And they're launching this token on their own Orion trading platform, their own DLT, that's distributed ledger technology, their own platform. So it's like a public blockchain, not auditable, and they have their own coin that is apparently backed by the gold that they hold in London. HSBC, the very same bank that was caught with and slapped with an over $1 billion fine for helping the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico as well as the cartel in Colombia. Now they think they've had this great idea of launching digital gold on their own blockchain. Someone tell these guys that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been in existence for over a decade. Okay, next, this is not a groundbreaking moment whatsoever. It is dinosaurs trying to stay relevant. Furthermore, it's just highlighting the fact that they love control because they have to launch their own token on their own blockchain that they control, and it's for their users. Also, HSBC is wanting to launch their own Bitcoin ETF out of Hong Kong. So I know we're getting so much hype over the ETFs that were launched out of the US, but there's a big world out there, and Hong Kong looks to be next on the list. Next up, we have Elon Musk no longer requiring some Twitter accounts to pay for the premium verification, or like the blue tick that some accounts have. You don't have to pay for it anymore if you can prove that you have 2,500 verified subscribers, and you can get the premium plus verification level for free if you can prove that you have 5,000 verified subscribers. Now, cool. Elon has been trying for a while how to protect against scammers and spam and all that on Twitter, thinking a paywall might do it, but apparently it didn't. And I don't think this tactic is going to be any different either, because now there's the comments on this article that I'm referencing. They're saying things like, great, so now there's just going to be scammers with a bot army that will create 2,500 accounts, and they're just going to follow each other, and then they're going to magically all have that blue tick, be verified scammers on Twitter. So as always, don't trust a scammer that is reaching out to you. Unsolicited contact from someone who you think is an influencer on crypto is probably a scammer. If you want to know the official Twitter accounts for myself or for Toby, mine is Blockchain Chick. Toby's is at Sir Crypto Tips. And links for all of our official social medias are always found in every one of our video descriptions. Now let's talk about what's happening on the DeFi front. There's 3 DeFi platforms that have been having the most developer activity, and that means they're building. That means more solutions, more innovative ways for you to trade your cryptocurrencies, interact with them, lend with them, earn money on them. We have Osmosis, DYDX, and Synthetics. Osmosis especially has been killing it lately with their airdrops, and that's been a huge draw for people to use this DEX for the Cosmos ecosystem. Airdrops, I think I should do a whole video on, because yes, at first a lot of it was scams happening, but this is turning into a new way of coin distribution that the SEC cannot claim any authority over, and it's a really fair coin distribution, and it really avoids big bag holders, big investors holding coins from the early on. It's just distributed to whoever might be participating in the network, however they see with their socials, or they're just already holding certain coins that are going to be integrated with that project. Anyway, airdrops is a cool idea. People are killing it with some profits. Toby, our portfolio, there's a few coins on there as well due to airdrops. If you want to know what our portfolio looks like, what coins we are buying and selling, check out learningcrypto.com. Lastly, we have to talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. He was sentenced to 25 years. Let me know in the comments if you think that is a fair sentence, if it was too light, if it was too much, that's too long for him to be in a federal penitentiary. The judge claimed, the U.S. Department of Justice was going for 30 to 40 years or 40 to 50 years for him to be served consecutively. So basically 110 years in prison. The judge decided to go with 25 years because that would be more than enough. Anyway, it seems like this chapter is now ended with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. He's going to be tucked away in prison for the next 25 years. Again, let me know what you think of all of these stories down below in the comments. I look forward to reading them. I'll see you guys again in the next video. Until then, hope you have a good one. Bye.